the crisis of neglecting inner conflict. These hidden realms, shaped by early childhood experiences, societal expectations, and unexamined beliefs, often remain obscured from our conscious awareness, yet they exert a powerful influence over our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Lesson 1. Confronting the inner self. Unconscious avoidance of oneself often leads to a relentless search for external distractions. The constant need for company or entertainment serves as a means to escape from the dark clouds storming within. Each moment becomes an opportunity for diversion, friendships turn into mere means of escape, and pleasure provides only temporary relief from underlying pain. The depth of relationships remains unnoticed due to the great distance maintained from one's true self. Solitude feels unbearable, and the pursuit of fun fails to permanently settle turbulent emotions. Understanding the profound impact of internal exploration is crucial for improving life, enriching relationships, and experiencing mental ease. It is essential to explore and embrace the anxious unknown that resides within. Changing locations, meeting new people, or engaging in new activities will not suffice if the core issues within remain unaddressed. True change begins with a deep inward journey, getting to know and love oneself, and healing the trauma and dense conditioning embedded in the mind. The anxious unknown within holds the key to profound transformation. This journey begins by acknowledging the existence of internal storms. Emotions and thoughts that have been avoided for so long must be faced head-on. This process may seem daunting, but it is through this confrontation that real healing begins. Embracing these emotions, rather than fleeing from them, allows for a deeper understanding of their origins and triggers. By cultivating a practice of introspection, the layers of accumulated trauma and conditioning begin to unravel. This journey is not about finding immediate solutions but about developing a compassionate relationship with oneself. Meditation, journaling, and therapy can serve as valuable tools in this process, offering insights and facilitating healing. As the internal landscape transforms, so does the external reality. Solitude, once unbearable, becomes a space for growth and self-discovery. The depth and authenticity of relationships improve as the connection with oneself deepens. Emotional turbulence gradually gives way to a profound sense of peace. The pursuit of external validation diminishes as self-acceptance grows. Life no longer feels like a series of temporary distractions but a meaningful journey of continuous growth. The process of healing and self-discovery is ongoing. It requires patience, persistence, and self-compassion. Each step taken towards embracing the anxious unknown within brings a deeper sense of fulfillment and clarity. This inner work not only transforms personal experiences but also has a significant impact on the external world. Relationships become more fulfilling, and life feels richer and more meaningful. The journey inward leads to a greater understanding of oneself and the world. The anxious unknown, once a source of fear, becomes a wellspring of wisdom and strength. Embracing this part of oneself is not just a path to personal healing but a gateway to living a more authentic and fulfilling life. The transformation from running away to embracing the inner storm is profound, marking the beginning of true self-discovery and lasting change.